it's a hot day, I'm hanging in the sunshine. You should hit me with the splash gun so I cool down. Won't you come on over? We can party till the...
You ever met one of these people that walk around with like this permagrin on their face? They're always happy. Like no matter what's happening, they're always just like in a good mood, and they can always, no matter what tragedy happens, there's always a positive spin they put on it. These are the type of people you ask for advice about life. In fact, you should never ask anybody any advice that isn't happy. Like, don't ask a rich person advice if he's miserable, or like a spiritual person who's always frustrated, or like a religious person who lives their life in fear. These people have not figured it out yet. There is more to life than being rich and to being this intellectual guru or knowing the right thing to do. There's more to life than that. And being happy and content is way the fuck up here. I wish someone would have told me that there's two types of people in this world. There's the kind that you hang out with them, and then when you leave them, you feel amazing. Energy, you feel like uplifted, like happier. You actually feel more hopeful about life. Then you have the second type of person, and these people are always draining your energy. They're like energy vampires. Like they're always a downer. It's like everything you say to them positive, they just piss on it. It's like a broken record. Like it's just like it's the same shit over and over. And the thing is they don't even know they're doing it. They're on autopilot. They're playing the same role. You have to get the fuck away from these people. I know you're probably thinking, but it's my mom or my dad or like my family or my best friend. I cannot believe that it's 2022 and there's still people on this planet that think that if they don't say something out loud, it has no effect on their life or their happiness or their health or their relationships. Like, I'm serious. They exist. They're like modern day cavemen. And I know they still exist because I met one last week. I'm at my friend's barbecue. I'm talking to this dude, and I'm talking to him for like 15 minutes. And then I start realizing, oh my God, this is one of them. Now, I don't know if you know of any modern day cavemen, but when I meet one of these guys, like, I just want to like give him a hug. I just be like, oh, come here, you dumb little fucker. Did you know today you're going to have about 60,000 thoughts? 60,000. And 95% of those thoughts that you're going to have today were the same fucking thoughts that you had yesterday. And 80% of those are negative. Nothing ever works out for me. I'm too old. I don't have enough money. I don't have the right connections. My butt's too fat. My nose is too long. We're saying the same thing over and over, and it's creating our life. And the funny thing is, those thoughts aren't even yours. You stole those thoughts. You stole those beliefs from your parents. Now, look at your parents. Take a look. If they're happy, then dude, you're in good shape. You only got to do some mild tweaking. But if you look at your parents and they're absolutely miserable, dude, you need to start reprogramming yourself. Scientists tell us that we're only using 10% of our brain, and we're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's cool. And then genetic scientists tell us that 97% of our DNA is junk. It has no purpose. It's just there. And like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, that's cool. Now, I don't want to go full-blown ancient aliens, but that's where I'm headed. 200,000 years ago, around about, something happened to us. We were like unplugged. We have 7 energy centers, and the top 5 were unplugged. And we were left with survival and reproduction. And so we're like walking around this planet. We're like, dude, what's going on? Why are we here? Dude, what's going on? Why are we here? So my point is what would happen if our DNA started to wake up? What if our DNA came back online? Who would we be? What is our potential? Well, we're about to find out. You know, as an old soul, you would think that we would be wiser than we are. I mean, this isn't our first time playing this Earth game. I mean, we've done this many times before. And in each of those lives, we would have gained a tremendous amount of wisdom. Say 100 lives or 1,000 lives. Could you imagine how wise you would be? You would know exactly what to do in every situation in your life. Why can't we access this wisdom? Your instinct. You know that first feeling you get when you're in any situation that tells you if something feels right or it doesn't? And it happens way before this thing has time to kick in and fuck everything up. That feeling is our internal compass, and we've had it our whole life, and nobody told us we had it or how to use it. And all we had to do was to trust that feeling, and everything in our life would work out perfectly. Dude, I cannot tell you how happy I am to see this latest wave of people experiencing the Mandela effect. This is a really, really good thing. Now, it probably didn't seem like a good thing to them because they're like freaking the fuck out. I know that. Dude, it wasn't like that. Dude, they've edited everything on the internet. Did you know that CERN is causing the Mandela effect? Somebody's fucking with me. Dude, nobody's fucking with you. What's happening is you're becoming conscious of two different realities at the same time. It's like a little taste of the multiverse because we are not living in one reality. That's not the way the simulation on Earth works. We are constantly sliding between parallel realities 1 billion times a second. We never notice these changes because the changes are so small. But now we're becoming conscious of these changes. And what's going to happen is you're going to start asking better questions. And the universe is going to start leaving breadcrumbs. And you're going to follow it. And you're going to start becoming more conscious and controlling the future that you want to experience. That is how this is working. You do know that like nothing in this reality changed. You slid from a reality where things were different into this reality. Anyway, this is a really good thing. I think it's common sense. I mean, I think people understand this, that different thoughts and different emotions vibrate at different frequencies. So like, like fear and shame and guilt, the Hall of Famers of organized religion do low frequency thoughts, whereas a higher frequency would be like love, joy, compassion, gratitude. You can feel the difference when you feel these different emotions. What's not common sense yet, and it will be common sense, it'll be common sense to your kids or their kids at the very least. We are like radio towers, and every thought we have, every emotion we have, we send this out into this field that connects us all. We are all connected in this field of consciousness. And so when you have that thought, man, nothing ever works out for me. Boom, out into the field. I'll never attract the right partner. Boom, out into the field. How come things never work out for me? Boom, out into the field. Why does everything seem so difficult? We're constantly radiating our frequency out into this field. And everything, every experience and every person that you're going to meet in the future that matches this frequency is doing its best to get to you. So my point is, you want to change your life? You have to start sending out a different frequency into the field because you're getting exactly what you're thinking about and what you're feeling. There are no exceptions. I think everything would make sense in the world, like all the chaos in the world. I think it would make sense to people if they knew that there was two types of souls on the planet. Now, I'm going to use the word souls. I prefer beings of consciousness, but that's a fucking mouthful. So I'm going to go with souls. There's two types of souls on this planet. There's the type that were sent here, and they were sent here because they didn't learn the lessons in other third density experiences. Like they didn't graduate. They did not learn the lessons. And so to them, Earth is kind of like a summer school. You know how when you're in school and you like fuck up and then you have to go back. You either have to repeat or you have to go to summer school. Yeah, well, the mass majority of souls on earth are repeaters. They did not make the cut. And I think if we understand that, and we understand that, Earth is like a mixed planet. Like, we're not all trying to go to the good. Like, if we were all trying to shift to fourth density positive, then this would be easy. We wouldn't have all the lying to us and the corruption. Like it would be like much easier. But this is a mixed planet. We have some really self-serving people on the planet that have been manipulating us. So it makes it more difficult to make this shift into fourth density positive. And then you have the other type of souls that are on this planet. And those are souls that have already graduated, but they've volunteered. They've made the decision to come back into this third density experience and help those that we love that are stuck, that aren't graduating. And I mean, we're all family, but they've come back to be mentors or tutors, you could say. And this is showtime. It's graduation time right now, and everything is super intense. So if you're feeling lost, you're just only focusing on negativity, it's just like a constant grind, and you're doing the same thing. You put out to the universe, to God, to source, all it is, whatever label you want to use, nature, whatever label you want to use, and say, I'm ready. Please, I'm ready. I need to change my life. I guarantee you will come across a synchronicity in the very near future that is going to lead you to creating a new life. It leads you to remembering that there's more going on here than you currently believe. Hey, what's up? A couple days ago, I posted a video on the awakening that we're going through. And I was talking about our DNA and how there's evidence that our DNA was edited. Now, I don't want to go full-blown ancient aliens, but that's where I'm headed. Our DNA is starting to come back online, and we're starting to remember who we are and why we're here. One of the comments, this dude was like, how do you know? How do you know? Well, dude, I'm living it. In 2011, my life turned into a science fiction story that is crazier than any science fiction movie I've ever seen. My DNA started to come back online, and I started to channel a frequency that contains light and information, and that research is showing is reconnecting, awakening our DNA. Now, I'm not special. There are millions of people like me on the planet who are antennas for this frequency that is speeding up the awakening of mankind.
I feel it.
Now, trust me, I'm not trying to convince you of this. I don't care what you think. I really don't. The people who are ready for this information will lean into it, and the people who aren't ready for it will swipe away. There was also this one comment that said, when our DNA comes back online, we're going to have superpowers. Well, I don't know about superpowers. I will say that my hand-eye coordination at 56 is off the charts. So something's going on with that. But you know what my real superpower is? I walk through my life with an unwavering knowing of who I am and why I'm here. And I have such a peace in my life, such a joy, such an ease that I never had before. I am a completely different person. I know we are all connected. I know we are all one. And I have been blessed to see a future that is brighter than you can possibly imagine. This evolution and human consciousness is happening. This is an amazing time to be alive. Have you noticed how many people are starting to experience more and more synchronicities in their life? Like seeing the same number, like 1111. What does 1111 mean? The real question is, what was that subtle impulse, that subtle nudge that got you to look in that direction at just that moment? That subtle impulse is your... Jesus Christ, dude!
Surfing on a wave of good feelings. Well, it's just another Friday in paradise. So bring your A game.